Young money.
Hey sis, hey sis, hey, you are tuned into 101 TKO Radio, and this is the She Wins Radio Show with your favorite coach, Andromeda, coming to you live every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., bringing you entertainment, empowerment, inspiration, all the good things to help you win in life and in business. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is January 30th, and y'all know how we do. We like to get into the national days of the week. So just so you know, oh shoot, I wasn't even ready. So before I do that, while I get ready, let me just go ahead and tell you that our special guest host today is Dr. Ashley Little.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much, sis, for inviting me to your amazing platform.
Thank you for being here. We absolutely appreciate you for showing up. You all know this is Big Talk Tuesday. I told you all 2024 is about Big Talk Tuesday, okay? That means that we are speaking life into ourselves. We are speaking positive affirmations. That means that we are only participating in positive conversations. That means that we are not dimming our light. We are not shrinking. We are not playing small. We are not acting like we are not that girl, okay? We are talking big. We are making bold moves. We are going to get everything that God intended for us to have. We are coming for everything that we absolutely deserve, okay? So Ashley, Dr. Ashley, today's theme is collaboration over competition. And I could not think of anybody else to join me today to have that conversation because in my mind, you are like the queen of collaboration. All I do is see you running these streets collaborating with anyone, not won't say anyone, but all these amazing people that are making major moves in the world. So, I mean, before we get into how you do that, can you just share with the people a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you again for inviting me to this amazing platform. She's done an amazing job. My name is Dr. Ashley Little. I'm an award-winning serial entrepreneur, Miss Global Continental 2023, and a TEDx speaker. So I'm excited to be here today to really just talk about collaboration over competition because that's really where it's at.
Yes, it is. Yes. And so tell us a little bit about the things that you do on a regular that helps you to collaborate with other people and helps other people to be uplifted, especially Black women, Black people in our community on a regular basis. I know you have your magazine and some other things, so tell us about that.
Yes, I do. So as she said, I do have my magazine, Creating Your Seat at the Table Media Platform, the magazine, the show, all of that. But I will say it's just about building those genuine relationships, right? Really getting to know people, getting to know them as a person, and then business, right? To see if that's who you really want to work with, right? And a way that I normally do that is, I'm always looking at how can I serve this person. It's not about me, it's not about me. It's about how can I serve this person? How can I bring value to what they're already doing? And I tell people that's how you should go into any collaboration, any type of, if you want it to be long-term, that's how you should go into it, right? Mm-hmm. Look at what they're doing because everybody has pain points, right? Mm-hmm. It's something we all have to improve on or it's something that we just don't want to do. And we just need a helping hand there. Mm-hmm. And so I tell people, study people. I study people that I want to work with, and I also really, as I stated before, get to know them because relationships are the new currency. And collaboration is the new currency.
Yes, I agree so much. I say connections are our most valuable currency.
Yes.
Because truly, I mean, honestly, if we take a look at the world today, and I feel like, and I've said this before on the show, that I feel like all these different changes that we are experiencing, like from natural disasters to changes in the economy, like I just feel like God is really trying to move us to understanding like our power is in our unity. Like he is really moving us in a place for us to realize you cannot do it alone. If you try to do it alone, you are not going to be able to make it. Not in life, not in business, not in anything.
Absolutely. Because, if you want to, and I know y'all hear this, if you want to go far, you need to do it with more than one person, right? That's really true, right? Mm-hmm. And collaboration, the correct way to do it, right, is when you're working with each other, you're going to be tapping into their audience and they're tapping into your audience, right? Mm-hmm. And if both of you don't have the same goal, you might as well don't even do it, right? Mm-hmm. So you should have the same goal that it's a we thing, right? Mm-hmm. That we're winning. It's never an I thing, right? Mm-hmm. It's a we thing. Let's win together. Yeah. And continue to, build that relationship and make it long term, because it's always something that you can balance off of somebody else, right? Because we have our strengths and our weaknesses, right? Mm-hmm. And so I tell people, if you want to really build your brand, you need to collaborate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't do it
No,
alone.
you
You
can't.
can't, you shouldn't do it
No,
alone.
no.
You shouldn't. So I wanna get into some of our favorite collaborations that we've seen. As you know, this is a radio show, and so we came in with Beyonce and Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
You know, some one of our favorite collaborations. I know everybody
Yeah.
went wild when that song came out, that video came out,
Absolutely.
like the queen of rap, the queen of R&B, like they came together and they did that thing. We love to see it. And so I just wanted to shout out some of these other collaborations that we've seen in hip hop over the years. We had Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj top the Billboard Hot 100 with a remix for Say So. We had, oh, y'all know Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce, the
Yes.
Houston Hotties.
Absolutely.
They slid into the second spot with Savage remix. This was, I believe, in 2020. And then we had so many other historic moments. We had, let me see, I don't want to miss anybody who I want to go into. Oh, so I want to mention what Kerry Washington has said when she was talking about the Savage remix. She said, I didn't think this song could get any better. Enter Beyonce, and the proceeds will benefit Bread of Life's Houston COVID-19 relief efforts, which also is again proof that when women are, they are, I say this, Beyonce is moving by herself. She is a absolute
Right.
moving by herself.
Right.
But she is a force. She is a force when she works with other women. And I love how she has used her platform to uplift other women in what she does. Um, we've also seen some amazing collaborations through TikTok. TikTok. Now let's bring up one collaboration that I think that we were really excited to see, only to find out that, oh goodness, they just couldn't. They couldn't do it what we needed them to do. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Nicki and Cardi.
Yeah.
Nicki and Cardi.
Yeah.
Nicki and Cardi. Nicki and Cardi. I think we really all wanted to see like them come together because Cardi was like the underdog, right? Like she came off social media, she built up her brand, like she's very authentic, and she did it the long way. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like she took any shortcuts to get to where she got to be.
Yeah.
And so Nicki is a veteran in the game, and she has a lot of power and influence and knowledge and wisdom that she could give to Cardi and help her out as she's entering into this industry. But as what happens sometimes, as what happens sometimes, the industry or the environment that you're in can pit women against each other, and also sometimes it's just women and their own feelings. Do you feel like when it comes to Nicki and Cardi, what do you feel like was some of the reasons why that didn't work out as far as like how we would have hoped it would have?
Like I said, Nicki is a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing. Cardi is too. I do think Cardi was humble. I think Cardi was more open to doing it. I think Nicki could be a little bit more humble with it, with the collaboration. I think it's still a possibility that hopefully they could hopefully resolve the issues and work together, because Cardi does help. And, she has a great heart. She helps a lot of people, and she's so giving, and she's always, fighting for what's right, And I'm gonna say Nicki will too, but we know you are the girl, right? We know, but Cardi is too in her own right. But sometimes you got to go with it in a humble way, because everybody's different, right? So every collaboration is going to be different. And so if you really want them to receive you, you want Cardi to. I think she wants Cardi to receive her. Then it's a different approach that she's going to have to take.
Yeah. And what's the interesting thing about that though is because Nicki got a lot of flack from people throughout her career. They felt like she wasn't paying homage to those who came before her, right? She got a lot of flack, like, oh, she copied Little Kim, but she's not really paying homage to her. And then she have to go back and show, like, as she was coming up, she did pay homage to her. And so do you think that some of that was like, Nicki was feeling like, okay, this girl's a newbie out here and y'all are comparing her to me. Y'all are like basically putting her on my level, but I have years in the game. Do you think that played some part in it?
I think so, because they were comparing her to Nicki, and I don't think that's fair, right? But Cardi is doing an amazing job. So I think what we got to remember as women, right? I'm just gonna say some women, because it's not all women. Everybody got to be happy for each other. You can't collaborate with someone if you're jealous. You can't collaborate with someone if you're not happy for the other person, right? You really have to come with a genuine heart, like I said, a servant heart, and you really have to be happy for people. And I think, like I stated, not all women, but some women, that's the thing that's holding a lot of people back from even working together, because that's that jealousy or intimidation. What God has, so you can't nobody take it from you. So you got to genuinely be happy for people and be okay if they are 10 steps ahead of you, or if they get a blessing before you, right? That means your blessing is right around the corner. Why you can't be happy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, like when it comes to Nikki, like since you already claimed the spot, like you said, you already made it. You know what I mean? So it's not like y'all in the trenches together and there's a fight for the number one spot. Yeah. You've already paved the way, sis. We know that there are so many female rappers who are now here and succeeding because of the work that you did. We know this. You don't have to feel like intimidated. And the other thing too is that this is what I've realized, like in my generation, like I'm 30, I just turned 38 years old, and we can see this younger generation, like they are not having to take as many steps as we took to succeed, right? They got the power of social media and they know how to use it well. You got 20-year-old millionaires off the strength of being able to know how to use social media. And I feel like sometimes the older generation will again feel like, well, you don't have as much time in the game, or you don't have much experience. It doesn't matter. Like, isn't that the goal though? That the next generation doesn't have to work as hard as it is.
Correct. Right. It don't matter. Like your years don't matter. It's a new day. It doesn't matter.
Be happy for them.
So, and back to the Cardi and Nicki. So maybe Cardi didn't have to take all the steps you take to get what she did to rise, for fame and to get to this certain number that you had to take. That's fine though. That's okay.
It's okay.
It is okay. As long as she wins.
As long as she wins, right? She arrived. And like I said, I think that was an opportunity for her because of how fast Cardi did rise, right? Yeah. Like, of course, she put in work behind the scenes that we didn't know, right? She definitely had humble beginnings, but it did seem like she was an overnight success. That's how it felt when she finally hit her stride. Nicki was in a very special place, like I said, to be able to impart wisdom on her that she did not have to help her to be more successful. Because we can see Cardi, like, whenever she's dealing with something or whatever, like she may not handle it like Beyonce,
correct,
right? Because she doesn't have that wisdom. She's very young. She's still trying to figure it out. And so I would have loved to see those who, again, have been in the game longer, who know better how the industry works, who have wisdom just as being women in business, to have kind of just surrounded her and said, hey, like, if you want to make this you'll have longevity in the industry, you might want to decide to make these different moves.
Beyonce was smart. She's done collaborated with Cardi. She's collaborated with Nicki. She's collaborated with Megan. She collaborated with all of them.
Yep, she did.
She's smart.
Yeah, she is.
She plays chess.
Yes. And I love to see the girls too. Like, we see the girls in the rap game. I think again, it's a wild thing because for so long Nicki was like that girl, right? Just like for so long Lil' Kim was that girl. Like nobody was touching Lil' Kim, then not Nicki popped out, and we didn't have like so much quote unquote competition, if that's what you want to call it, because I don't think it's competition. Everybody is their own artist. Right. Everybody has their own skills, talents, fan base, whatever the case may be. There's never been a singer that I've come across or a rapper that I've come across and like, well, because I like you, I can't listen to you. Right. Ever in my life have I ever felt like if I'm listening to Nicki, I can't listen to Cardi. If I'm listening to Beyonce, I can't listen to Lizzo or Mariah or whoever. If I like the music, I like the music. Yeah. But now there is so many more female rappers in the game. And so I think that it has created like this feeling that, again, that idea of who's the queen of rap. I remember Nicki mentioned, somebody asked her, like, can there be more than one at the top? And her answer was no. I don't know if it's still the same today. I would hope so.
It's a room for all of us.
It's room for all of us.
It's a room for all of us.
I firmly believe that God has given us all gifts and talents. And God didn't create one person to make for the whole world. Yeah. God didn't make one person to provide comedy and things like that for the whole world. God didn't make one person to empower women. He made multiple of us because guess what? It's needed to have multiple people to reach the masses. Right. If I was the only person who could bake, the world will be in trouble. Because Lord knows I cannot cook or bake for everybody. Right. So why we don't create space for other people to do their gifts, even if it's quote unquote similar to you?
Right. It's the same thing as getting in circles with people who are smarter than you, right? Who are 30 steps ahead of you. If I'm the smartest one in the room, I'm in the wrong room. I'm in the wrong room. Yeah. But if you look at, and I'm gonna let you take it from here, if you look at how the guys collaborate with Jay and all of them,
Listen,
they understand.
they understand. They understand. Listen, this is a good conversation, y'all. We're going to come right back. We're going to take a quick break. This is the She Wins Radio Show on 101 TKO Radio.
Oh yeah.
Hey sis, hey sis, hey. You are tuned into 101 TKO Radio, and this is the She Wins Radio Show with your favorite coach, Andromeda. If you are just now tuning in with us, we have been having an amazing conversation today with Dr. Ashley Little about collaboration over competition. Thank you so much again for being here, sis.
Well, I'm excited to be here, sis. I'm loving the conversation because it's needed.
It is absolutely needed. Listen, we have to understand that collaboration is so much more powerful than competition. We have to get out of our own ways. We have to put aside our petty differences, our brokenness, our emotions, and get to this money, get to success, get to unity, because that's what's necessary. It's what's needed.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be, right? For us to really get to that next level where we could be so much bigger, and we could just really focus on the big goal, right? The big goal is how can we work together, how can we win together, right? Yeah. How can we help each other elevate?
Yes. And we see it in every other culture, for real. Like every other culture is working together. I mean, I have had conversations even with my nail technicians sometimes. They just tell me how, like, that's the goal. They come over here, they start their businesses, they bring their family over, their members know when they get over here, they got somewhere to work. If there are other people who are like of their, I think nationality may be the best word, like whether they're Korean or Chinese or whatever, like they will help them to be successful. Mm-hmm. Like they will work together. And so I just want to see us as Black people do more of that. I just really do. Like I think that we are definitely making strides in the right direction, but I want to see more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, as you said it, what we just said, we get past those differences, that we will be so much better, right? Mm-hmm. And like I said, I have to keep saying it, if we're genuinely happy for each other. Like it's the jealousy, the intimidation, that if you help this person, that they might get ahead of you. Mm-hmm. We gotta stop. We have to.
Yeah. It's not serving anybody.
No.
None of us, right? So I told y'all I was going to give y'all the national days. I'm ready now. Yes. So our national days for January 30th is National Plan for Vacation Day. All right. So I love that. If you are in need of a vacation, today is the day to start planning for it. National Plan for Vacation Day on the last Tuesday in January reminds us to plan our vacation at the start of the year for the rest of the year. The early bird gets to pack their bags and fly away to a little fun and relaxation. I love that. Yes. So the hashtag for that today in National Plan for Vacation Day is hashtag Plan for Vacation. And if you want to observe this day, 3 steps to planning a vacation are: 1, determine how much time off you earn, right? Look up the number of vacation days you earn by checking with your finance or HR team. Don't forget to make a note of any office closures. 2, coordinate calendars. Plot out your year into the number of days you earn. Put your vacation dreams on the calendar and use your custom link to get your family and friends involved in the planning. And number 3, share your plans. Once you have your days determined, use a calendar to export your plans to Outlook, Gmail, or other electronic calendars to share with your boss, coworkers, and family. So definitely want to make sure you plan out your vacations. I'm one of those people who believe that if you don't plan it, it's likely not going to happen. Right. Yeah. So get to planning. Honestly, I don't even care how big the dream is for your vacation. Like if you start planning now, you can be in Greece by this time next year, correct, right? Yeah. You can take your whole family to Disney because we know that's a whole a whole expense. Yeah, that's a whole plan. It's expensive to take the whole family to Disney. But you can do it. You just got to start planning. And then the other day is National Croissant Day. Who doesn't love a croissant? I know I do. I should not love croissants. I am gluten intolerant. But I do love the croissants. And so the United States National Croissant Day recognizes the flaky pastry enjoyed at every meal. Croissants are buttery, crescent-shaped rolls that are crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. If you want to participate in your National Croissant Day experience, you can use hashtag National Croissant Day. And how do you observe this day? Give your favorite baker a shout out. I love that. Shout out to your favorite baker. Where do you get your croissants from, sis?
You know what? I'm not really a big croissant eater, but I love my donuts, right? Okay. So Dunkin' Donuts is one of my favorites.
Okay. Really? That's funny. Do you prefer Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme?
Ooh, that's hard. That's hard. Krispy Kreme is like, the goats, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with Krispy Kreme on this one.
Yeah. For that glazed donut, you gotta be Krispy Kreme. Now for the other ones, I could do Dunkin' Donuts, but that glazed Krispy Kreme all day. All right, you can also treat your friends and coworkers to fresh baked warm croissants. Oh, that's always nice. Treat other people. Yeah. Bake your own croissants and Dare we say, are we doing the Pillsbury ones
Right.
out
Are
the
we
kids?
going to up it up? You know?
That's the only croissants I know.
Right. Absolutely. We have to know our talent.
Yes, right. The next one though is take a baking class and learn how to make these delicious flaky pastries yourself. You can offer a class if you know how to do it and pass on the skill to others who want to learn. Each one teach one. Each one teach one. Offer a special in your bakery, restaurant, or store. If you have one, try a new recipe. Make a super salad that goes well with croissants. And use hashtag National Croissant Day to post on social media. So again, sometimes we need a little permission to enjoy the things that may not be the best for us. I know that some of us are on these carb-free diets and such. Every now and then you have to treat yourself. It's okay. Have a croissant. Life is short. All right, so let's get into this conversation about collaboration. I was just thinking to myself on the break about some of the amazing collaborations that we have seen over the years. We have seen Yvonne Orji and Issa Rae. Like, I love their friendship. I love how Issa Rae was able to put her friend on, allow her to act in her show Insecure. And now we see Yvonne like doing her own thing. She's acting in movies separate from Issa Rae, and Issa Rae is still producing, and they're both winning in their own right. We've also seen this with like Oprah and Gayle, right?
Absolutely.
Love to see it. It's so much proof though. Like when you have a genuine heart to collaborate and you see gifts in your friends around you, instead of trying to dim their light and say, oh no, girl, I can't let you, I'm gonna be the only one over here shining and you can just be like my lackey. You say, oh sister, I see that you have a gift in that. Let's win together. Let's grow together. And then also be okay once you get to a point where you don't need to be in my atmosphere anymore. You can go over there and create your own seats.
Yeah, be okay if they pass you. Right.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like mentorship and mentee, right?
Yes.
I don't want a mentor that's gonna be jealous of me as I continue to go up the ladder, right?
Absolutely.
Because the goal is to be more successful than your mentor, right? That's what they should want for you.
Absolutely. And again, if you are keeping in the mindset of the value of collaboration, as you are growing, you're always going to be able to take moments to recognize the people who help you to rise.
Yeah, that's right. And go back and give them opportunities too.
Yes.
And
And
that's
that's your
respect.
legacy.
It's our respect.
Yes, that's creating legacy as well,
Yeah.
right? Because when your mentees do surpass you, or people, a lot of times we are mentoring people who are younger than us, right?
Yeah.
One day you're not going to be here, and they'll be able to say, their children will be able to say, oh yeah, my mom always used to talk about Dr.
Right.
Ashley and how she always showed up for her and how she planted these seeds inside of her to help her to succeed. That's legacy.
Right.
That's how you live on beyond your life.
And I'm a big believer in showing respect because we all have to have somebody to keep over at, right? It's nobody that's successful that did not have somebody to open the door for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think people miss that. I'm not self-made. I'm God-made.
Absolutely.
So when somebody says they're self-made, I'm gonna look at them kind of sideways because somebody opened the door for you, or they put you in a room.
Absolutely.
Everybody that's successful got there with somebody else, right? Nobody did it by themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I could not agree more. I tell anybody who will listen to me, like every opportunity that I've had, like I always, again, I'm God first, right? Because I couldn't connect with these people. I could not be able to use my gifts. I could not be in certain places to meet certain people and to do certain things without God first. After God, though, every opportunity that I have received, every single one, from magazine covers to features in magazines, including yours, creating your seat at the table, to being a feature on television on Afro TV twice, to everything that I've experienced has been because of my connections with other women, because I have been intentional about collaborating with other women. And I also share that a lot of these opportunities came not because I was connecting with them with the intention of trying to get something from them. I just saw light in them. I saw a gift in them. I said, "Ooh, her energy feels good. Sis is moving. I want to learn from her or be in her space or just support her and celebrate her on her journey." And then it will be years later. Like I think about Life Coach Brittany, who featured me on the cover of Life Coach Network magazine, like maybe 5 years ago. But I had knew Brittany before then. We had met each other at events. We would, support each other via social media. I never knew she would have a magazine. She probably at the time didn't know she would have a magazine, but once she had a magazine, she thought about me to put me on the cover. And sometimes that is how our collaborations come about, by just choosing to connect with people genuinely and take the journey with them. You never know where somebody's going to end up. You never know where God is going to lead them and when God will put them in a position to be able to help you get to your next.
But you also got to remember that you have an amazing platform called She Wins, and you've opened doors for others. And you've poured into other women globally for 10 years now. Happy 10 years, right? that you poured into other people, right? And I always believe in this, right? And I do love God, so I'm gonna always take it back there. What you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. So those all the seeds that you planted back, He giving them back to you double.
Yes.
And people got to remember that, right? When you're pouring the seeds out there, because you have that genuine heart, right? And you're not looking for nothing in return, it's going to always come back.
That's it.
It's gonna always come back.
That's it. So it's like, what do people need to know? Because, like, I think that for me, it comes naturally, right? Like, I don't have a hesitation or a resistance to putting people on. And I feel like you're the same way. Like there's not a barrier that you have to try to push through to do it. But for those people who are struggling, like they're struggling with jealousy or envy, or not wanting somebody to be higher than, or feeling inadequacy or intimidation from seeing other people succeed, like, what advice do you have for them?
I would say first, definitely work on you. Spend time with you, right? See what's really causing those triggers. And then take it a step further. If you need to go to therapy, therapy is great. Everybody should go, right? I think people look at this thing, oh, that's not. No, everybody should go, right? So if you do need to take it a step further, do that so you can be good for everybody that you encounter. If you are not there, and if you're still having those insecurities and you're selfish and you're not wanting other people to win, please don't collaborate, because it's not going to last long.
True.
Yeah, so I just say spend time with you. Work on you. We all should work on us all the time, right? And figure out, why do I feel that way? What's triggering that? What happened that made me feel that way? And how can I get past this?
Yes. And I think too, it's making that intentional choice, right? Because sometimes a habit is a habit, right? You've been doing it for so long in your life that you'll be around people and you'll be okay with them as long as they're on a certain level. But as soon as your sis gets married, or as soon as she starts elevating in whatever way that's different than you, and you feel like she's leaving you behind, or she's better than you in some way, there's always that choice in that very moment to say, am I going to lean into this relationship more? Am I going to celebrate her? Am I going to be inspired by her? Or am I going to start pulling away? Right. Because we've seen that, right? I know I've seen that. I know you've seen that.
And energy you can feel it. You can feel energy. Yeah. You can feel, if you're in tune, you can feel when something's different. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've seen it in my career over the last 10 years. I have seen how people who were with me and they were, liking my posts and sharing my posts and whatever the case may be. But once I crossed whatever threshold they fought, then all of a sudden they start disappearing. I don't see the likes on anymore, and I'm not receiving a text anymore. And they just start getting real different. Right. And it can be uncomfortable. And so I want to say too, to those women who are striving, like, you're out here in the world trying to do good things. You're out here supporting other people, collaborating with other people, encouraging other people. When those moments happen, do not be confused and think that that's now time for you to start shrinking. Don't do it. It's not. Just keep going.
And then we have to understand that there are seasons for people too. Yeah. Everybody's not meant to go on the journey the whole way. And some people are going to fall off. And I think all of us have to learn that, because it can be hurtful, right? You're like, what did I do? Yeah. But then we have to learn to embrace it. Some people are just seasonal.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. Everybody's on their own journey. Yeah. That's what I believe. Like, and also when you are striving to do the right thing, God won't allow people to stay around you when they are going to be toxic, when they're going to be draining you of your energy. He's going to move them. Because I've had people like be moved out of my life so abruptly, like you were like, I didn't have time to even stop it. Like the Lord was like, nope, gotta go. And I was just like, what? Like you said, what happened? What did I do?
Did I offend them, or what happened?
Right.
All I did was grow.
That's all you did was grow. And it's okay though. Like you said, some people are just seasonal. If this, I learned this lesson very early in life, and I'm grateful that I learned it. Yeah. I remember being in college, pursuing my accounting degree, and I have been in college for 4 years at this point, trying to get my bachelor's degree. No, 5 years trying to get this bachelor's degree, and it wasn't happening because, well, looking back now, I recognize that I really wasn't that interested in accounting. Right, that was never what I was supposed to do. I was in college simply because I wanted to make my parents proud. I felt like that was my next step after high school. Didn't know what else to do. So I kept changing my major and finally settled on accounting simply because that's what my sister graduated in. And I'm like, well, she can help me through these classes. But I remember in that 5th year, my friends starting to graduate. One of my very close friends, Brooke, she was graduating from nursing school. And so I wasn't graduating. Like I'm watching my friend go off and graduate, and I had to, I showed up to her graduation. And again, it can start with feelings of like, well, dang, man.
Right,
like,
right, that's normal.
I'm watching my friends graduate. Here I am. I'm supposed to be crossing the stage on this same weekend, too. You know what I mean? Like, we started at the same time. We're supposed to be finishing at the same time, but I'm not. I'm still trying to figure my life out right now. And I had to, I showed up for all of her things. I celebrated with her. But I remember then at that moment having to make a conscious choice to say, like, Andromeda, are you going to be like, giving off this weird energy because of what you're going on within yourself, or are you really going to genuinely show up for your friend? And I did. I showed up for her genuinely. And then, but what I did do is I recognized that, like, this is my friend. This is someone I enjoy spending life with. I know that when she graduates, she's going to get a job. She can make more money than me. She could be trying to take bigger trips, and I ain't gonna be able to afford them. So, Andromeda, you better hurry and get your behind out of college, like, and get your career going, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like I use that inspiration as motivation to go ahead. So I can stay with my friend and experience life with her.
Right.
And that was a choice that I made. You know that she did not, I wrote in my blog, when I started my blog in 2014, I shared that story. And she was like, I never knew you felt like that. And I'm glad you never knew I felt like that. You weren't meant to. Because it was about me, not you.
Right.
All right, y'all. I'm about to we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with this conversation about collaboration over competition. This is Coach Andromeda on She Wins Radio Show, 101 TKO Radio. We'll be right back. Hey, sis. Hey, we are back. This is Coach Andromeda coming to you live every Tuesday on She Wins Radio Show on 101 TKO Radio. If you are just now tuning in with us, I just want to say thank you. If you've been rocking with us since the beginning, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for your positive energy. I also want to say, if you like the show, if you are enjoying the show, make sure that you share it with other women, right? Sharing is caring. Today's conversation is about collaboration over competition. And y'all know I always say, when women support women, we all win. So again, if you've heard something today that you think somebody else needs to hear, please, please, please share it with another woman. My special guest today, my co-host actually, is Dr. Ashley Little. And as I said, we've been having this great conversation about collaboration over competition. I definitely call Dr. Ashley one of those women who are just like pioneers for women working together, pioneers for collaboration. Like, she's the queen. She's the queen of collaboration.
Yeah. Thank you, love. you know what? I think we have that in common, that we both really genuinely want people to win, which is why that's your platform. She wins, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. So on the break, y'all, we were talking a little bit about, sometimes some collaboration just aren't meant to be. And Dr. Ashley kind of touched on in the beginning, like whenever you're getting ready to collaborate with somebody, you want to make sure that you're researching them and studying them, kind of, feeling the vibes and determining if it's good, because even though the idea is for us all to be finding ways to work together and collaborate, there's just some people that we're not meant to collaborate with, right?
Yeah.
We don't share the same energy. I definitely believe that, like, you have a tribe. We all belong to a tribe. We all have people who we just vibe with on the same wavelength. Mm-hmm. There are people who we may have even come across in life where other people might have just been singing their praises, and we can't really say for certain, like, there's something that's wrong with them. They just don't vibe on our wavelength, right? Like, they're good in their own right, but they're just not good for us. Right. And so that made me kind of think about Brandy and Monica. We were talking about the verses. Now, we know prior to the verses that they did, they kind of just always kind of had this tension between them, right?
Yeah.
Like, the industry, it seems, definitely tried to pit them against each other in the beginning. We definitely watched the industry do this for several women, right? I mean, we could go down the list of women who were pitted against each other just because they were similar. Brandy and Monica were similar in age. They were, both in R&B. So it was almost like that same idea of, like, who's the queen, right. Of this time. However, I did watch the verses, and I was excited as much as everybody. Like, when we saw the images come out, we saw the announcement come out that Brandy and Monica were going to be on the same.
I was like, I gotta be there.
Had to be there. Was not an option, right? I was front and center, ready to go, waiting for them to start, and I stayed to the very end. However, one thing that I noticed is that as much as we would love for Brandy and Monica to be besties, I just don't think that's in the cards.
I don't either. The verses was nice. But I do think there was some little slide shades thrown, throughout the time, but I will say this, at least they took the step. They did. They took the step, and but I don't either. I don't think the energy, if like I said, if you're in tune, you kind of you can tell the energy, right? Mm-hmm. They tried to play it off. They did.
And we appreciate them for showing up for us, right? Like, we appreciate them for giving the people what they were asking for all of these years, because we had not seen them together since The Boy Is Mine. Yeah. Right? They were like, 15, 16 then? Mm-hmm. But I'm okay if I don't ever see them in the same room again.
Me too.
I'm okay.
I would say the way they took this approach was, let's just make this money.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah. And that's fine.
That's okay.
That's okay. Sometimes you can work. That's a beautiful thing to know. And I think we do know this a lot in life. Like, we go to work for some people, and there are coworkers that we just do not work with, right? We don't want to work with, rather, but we are forced to work with them in order to complete whatever the goal is, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's how we have to move through life. It's like, we may not vibe on the same wavelength. We might not see eye to eye on something, but we can come together for this hour or 2 hours to get this work done and achieve a common goal.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to ever.
And then we don't have to ever talk again. We have the same goal, which is to accomplish this.
That's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about that too. Like that's the difference between men and women a lot of times is that men are not always looking to be besties with one another.
Right.
Like I don't have to hang out with you at my house. I don't have to talk to you every day. Matter of fact, for real, like we can come together. We are clear of mind what we coming here to do. And I may never speak to you again except unless we're talking about how much money did we make doing this thing.
Jeezy and Gucci.
Okay. Period. And again, I think that's what it is. Like with Monica and Brandy are two very different spirits.
Right.
They just are. Like
yeah.
I think they're both good women. Like I like them both equally, truly. Like I think Monica is cool. She seems sweet. She seems like a good friend. I feel like the same way about Brandy, but they're two different spirits.
Yeah.
It's okay if they're not friends.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's really okay. And we're okay.
We're okay. Right. Everybody is okay. So I think we have to kind of be able to move like that, knowing, using discernment to know, like, okay, this is somebody who I'm going to be able to grow with, build with, have a long-standing relationship with. Like, we're going to keep tapping on each other, keep helping one another to grow, and just know that sometimes there are just moments. Like, this is just a poor moment.
This is just a season.
And it's okay. I keep saying like it's okay, y'all. It's okay. And let's also, can we normalize this too? Because I think that a lot of times we see people collaborate. One of the ones that I saw recently was B. Simone, and I believe her name is Megan. Is that her name? B. Simone's and Megan. They are podcasters. See, I know you.
I think I know what you're talking about,
right?
That podcast.
Yeah. They had a podcast. Y'all know I'm gonna have to Google it really fast. B. Simone and her bestie Megan, I believe that's her name, Megan Ashley. They had a podcast together, and it was actually a very successful podcast. Like they had a lot of viewers and stuff like that. But it was recently shared that they had a breakup. They are no longer friends. They are no longer doing the podcast together. I think that their breakup was not a pleasant one. I think it was not like amicable. They didn't have an amicable divorce. Right? It wasn't like, oh, okay, like, thank you all for watching. Me and Megan have decided to go our separate ways. I hope that you support her and me in our individual endeavors. I think there's been like a little bit of drama surrounding that. I wanted to say, like, I just hope that we can move forward in normalizing. Like, it's okay to not have to understand that when the season is up, it doesn't mean the person is a bad person or that you don't want them to succeed and excel in life. It just means that the time is up and y'all can separate without destroying each other.
Yeah, and then some people they don't know how to separate. So say you have a best friend and then you thinking about doing a business venture with them. Some people don't know how to separate that either. So sometimes your friend is just meant to be your friend. They might not be great business partners too. And I think people have to look at that too. Because sometimes people take that and it really destroys friendship. And that person really was never supposed to be a business partner. They were your friend. So we have to always learn that, hey, every friend is not meant to be a business partner. And every business partner is not meant to be a friend.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so good. Yeah. And so let's even get into the technical things when it comes to collaboration, right? The stuff that people really don't often like to talk about. Like the contracts, right?
Yeah.
The NDA, like those things that are necessary, especially when you're going into business with a friend, right? Because I feel like having that clear meeting of the minds of what each person's expectations are, what you're going to get out of it, helps to definitely start you off on the right path.
Absolutely. Because I mean, I can even say, a couple years ago when I got into a venture with a friend, and it was a guy that we did business together, but he probably should have always stayed a friend though, because the business side of it just wasn't, sometimes when you give people, I actually gave them the position in the organization. I had already started it, right? Sometimes you give people things or you make them a founder or a COO or whatever. If it's not really their vision, they're not going to work as hard, and which we shouldn't expect for people to work harder than us when it's our vision, right? You should never expect it. And I think some people have this imaginary thing that this person needs to work hard. No, this is your vision, right? But they just at least do some work, right? And sometimes you give people things, they'll sit there and they'll write it out. They'll write it out, and then they're, until they see. But if they don't, sometimes you can tell if what they're in it for too, though, right? Because everybody don't want to start with you, but when you start, rising, everybody want to be on board.
Okay.
You know?
Absolutely.
Everybody's not going to be out here with you, while you shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get up there, everybody clapping. Everybody said they were part of it, right? Everybody want to be
right.
Everybody want to be seen.
Absolutely.
And so you have to learn that too, and I had to learn that the hard way.
I had to learn the hard way too. Nelson, what you want to say? I saw Nelson put them money fingers up. Nelson, what you want to add to the conversation?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in a previous business venture, and it was somewhat opposite. I worked harder than the person who it was their vision.
Right.
And I had to kind of sit back and I'm like, wait, why am I working harder for somebody else's vision?
Right.
And it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
right, because it's their vision.
It's their vision. Yeah.
You should be working way harder than me. Right. I just add to you.
That's it. Because ultimately, again, like you said, it's almost like your baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I should have your baby more than you have your baby.
But you also on the other side of it, if we give you a position, like you just got to do something though. You just got to sit there.
Exactly.
Right?
And honestly, I've learned that the hard way too. I had a close friend that was having my friend since college, so we're talking like 20-year friendship.
Yeah.
And we were okay until I gave her a position in my business, and that honestly destroyed our relationship because she was not respecting my brand. She was not respecting my business. And I couldn't have that. And again, sometimes when you tell people like you can't do this, then now they start looking at you different. Because like, who are you to tell me I can't do this? Like, but you can, because we have a business conversation right now.
Right.
We're not friends.
Yeah, this is business. This is business.
Right. But so, like you said, sometimes and I can admit that I allowed those lines to get blurred because I did not set specific standards in place. Mm-hmm. So meanwhile, I'm hosting a business type of event. You're showing up as my friend in a position, as my teammate, as my help, but you're still treating me like I'm your friend instead of the business founder of this organization.
Correct.
Right? And so that's not going to work.
It's
like you can't be popping off. Like it's never okay to pop off on me, but it's definitely not okay to pop off on me in front of guests of my events. Like we're not going to do that. We're not. Like again, that understanding that sometimes if you don't make those lines clear, they will get blurred, and then people will think they can treat you however.
Yeah, because we always want. We have that kind heart. We want everybody, we try to get everybody with us, right? Mm-hmm. But we have to, we still reach back, help people, right? Mm-hmm. But also understand that there's a line, right? Mm-hmm. And my bestie, it's not my business partner. Mm-hmm. She's gonna stay your bestie.
Absolutely.
You can just support.
Absolutely. Because I mean, it's the tale as old as time, right? We always hear like people say, "Don't go this with your family,"
and it works for some people.
It does work for some people.
It don't work for
but
everybody.
You got, like I said, you got to know who the family member is, right? Separate from you and your business. Do they handle business? Do they keep their word? Do they understand, like, if they have responsibilities to do something, they should do it? If over here you always see Bobby hanging out, he can't seem to pay his bills on time. You see Susie, she don't ever keep her word. She says she's gonna be here and she never on time. Don't bring them in.
And they always say if you really want to know somebody, do business with them.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to run that risk anymore. I'm good. Right. I'd rather just know you before I bring you in. I don't want to know guesswork.
Right. Yeah.
I'm good on that. But yeah, so like I said, I think collaboration is a super powerful thing, but I also think that we absolutely, like you said earlier on, we have to use discernment, and we have to do one thing an entrepreneur said to me, a female entrepreneur said to me early on, you have to vet people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Study them.
Yes. Like even ask other people.
Absolutely.
What was your experience of them? That was something I struggled with real bad too, because I'm one of those people, and I've heard other people say it too, like my mother-in-law, she said it. She says that she doesn't decide whether she's going to deal with the person or not based on other people's experience of them. And that's how I was for a long, long time. And I still, like, it's the truth to that, though. Yeah. It is. It's kind of like a gray area, right? Yeah. Because, again, that's where your discernment have to step in. Yeah. Because if all these people are telling you this person behaves this way, and then you say, well, I'm going to be the one to take a chance, and then you find out that they do behave this way, it's like you had all of the warnings, but you decided to walk into that thing anyway, trying to be super saver somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, I do believe people can grow beyond their circumstances.
That's true.
I don't believe anybody should have to be held down by their mistakes forever in life, right? And I feel like everybody is redeemable.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we take unnecessary risks when we have seen people's behaviors, we have heard about their behaviors, and we still decide to say, I'm gonna stick my neck out there and wait for it to get chopped off.
Right.
Like, how do you feel about that? Do you
I would take it back to what you were talking about earlier.
mm-hmm.
Things didn't work out with Nicki and Cardi, but Beyonce took a chance on all of them.
True. This is true. But she probably, like we said though, Beyonce is moved different. Beyonce ain't going into this situation thinking we're gonna be best friends.
Right. It's never been that we're gonna be friends. It's we're gonna handle business.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's that. Like I said, that's a great area.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
something I
great
think
area.
that you need to be able to pray about.
You do have to
And if
pray
your
about it.
spirit says no, just go with what your spirit say. Okay. Well, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is She Wins Radio Show on 101 TKO Radio.
I feel like
Hey sis, hey, hey sis, hey. You are tuned to 101 TKO Radio, and this is the She Wins Radio Show with your favorite coach, Andromeda, and my co-host, my beautiful co-host, Dr. Ashley Little.
Yes, this has been a great conversation. I hope everybody really take these gems that we're sharing and really kick off 2024 collaborating.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, sis, you told me about your degree, and I'm still gonna have you say what it is again because it's a whole mouthful. But tell me about the name of the degree, and then I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah. So one of my degrees is in industrial organizational psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that means
so basically it's studying different behaviors of people, right? Because you think about it, everything's a behavior.
mm-hmm.
And sometimes when we get mad at somebody, all of us has been there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We think it's us, but it's really not us. It's really that person. So when you get to a place in life, and we all had to get there, because I ain't gonna just wake up like that, right? Where we understand that people's actions and the way they do things is always something else. If they're not happy or if they might not respond a certain way, we got to get past the part of it's us. Most of the time, it's not us, right? So we got to stop getting offended because there's normally something going on with them. And when you get to that point in life, because there's levels to it, then you can learn to show more grace to people.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And I just feel like, again, it's so relevant
Yeah.
to this discussion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The fact that, again, sometimes when you are collaborating with people, even if we're being real, right?
Yeah.
We talk about collaboration. That is two people coming together and sharing space with one another. And depending on the collaboration that you have, it might be one that you're spending a lot of time with each other over multiple days, weeks, months, or even years, right? So being able to have that wisdom and that knowledge about, like, okay, sometimes sis is going to come in here and she might not be smiling. She might not be, as energetic as usual, or might be giving off some energy. It's important to know that you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? The collaboration doesn't have to end because somebody's having a moment.
Yeah, we're human. We're all human.
Yes.
And we all should show grace, right?
Yes.
We all should show grace.
Yes. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Whenever, because even collaboration to me is even in the sense of, if you and I decide to host an event together, everybody who decides to purchase a ticket and attend, they're collaborating with us as well.
Absolutely.
Because we can't have that event if they don't show up.
Right.
Right.
So everybody's important.
Everybody's important. And so I think that, I know for me, especially as being an event host, whenever I'm walking into an event and I see the event host and her face might not be smiling in that moment because we're just getting in there, who knows what she was facing before we walked up in there, I give grace even in that moment because I recognize, like, who knows what's on sister's mind.
You don't know what just happened. You don't know who quit, who didn't show up.
Listen.
How many thousands of dollars she got to pay?
Right.
Because something didn't go right?
Okay. Listen. And so I've just learned to give that grace, because I know sometimes we definitely judge each other off of how our faces are looking.
Absolutely. Or, like you said, or we didn't answer the phone right. Or they, or the meeting didn't go like it normally go. I didn't come in on 5,000, But we all have been in that position where we took it personal or it offended us. But as we grow, levels to it, we understand that, hey, it's something within that person.
Absolutely.
Always take a step back and look at that.
Yeah. And I think too, again, like sometimes as a culture, we are very quick to judge people in positions that we've never been in, right? Everybody would tell you
social media to blow it up.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Everybody got an opinion. People who are not millionaires have opinions about what they would do if they was in that person's position who's a millionaire.
Right, but you can't because you've never been in one. How you gonna tell them what they need to do? You've never been in the space.
You can't. You could never understand, right? Even celebrities, right? People always just feel like they should be, like, you don't know the amount of pressure that's on these people who have millions of people watching them and giving opinions on their lives on a regular basis.
Celebrities, influencers, anybody that's in the public.
Yeah.
You just, you never know.
You never know.
You're going off of what you see on the outside. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Everybody has a story.
Everybody.
And that's why I tell people, don't get jealous of when people are growing and successful and winning. Because some of y'all couldn't even go through some of the storms they had to go through. So be careful.
Talk about it.
Be careful.
It's true.
Because everybody don't put all that on social media.
True.
Right?
It's true.
So be happy for everybody, because you probably couldn't survive some of the things they went through to get there.
Oh Lord, I
Yeah.
know that to be true.
Yeah.
Listen, because I know it's a lot of times
Yeah.
I think people look at me from the outside looking in thinking that, everything is coming in an easy way, and it's
No,
a
God
lot.
just kept his hands on us. That's all.
That's
That's all.
really it. It's a lot of burdens I carry. People have no idea
No
about,
idea.
and I'm not even touching, the level of a lot of people that I admire and look up to. But like even the responsibility that you carry, you know what I mean? If you are saying that you're out here impacting people, there are people who have an expectation of you to keep doing that. Like I literally have women tell me, you can't let She Win Society die. You have to keep going. So many women are being impacted. That's a responsibility. So if money is looking funny, I gotta figure out how to get that money.
Right. And don't think because everybody's not putting it on social media that it's not that the crown ain't heavy.
Yeah.
Some people don't choose to do that. I'm sorry.
Me
Everybody
too.
don't choose to put all that on social media. So please don't underestimate that either.
See, and the reason, this is what I've learned too about not putting that stuff on social media. Social media can't help me through that.
Right.
Only God can help me.
And people, and I'm sorry, in the world we live in, people love to see chaos. They love to see misery. Right? They love. I don't know. They just love to see that.
They do. I think it's I talk about
and don't give people that too. Don't give people that type of energy in your life. Don't give people that.
No, don't. I think about what the Bible says: "Do not cast your pearls before swine."
No.
Like some people really enjoy, like you said, they want to see you failing. Think about the people. Even if we think about celebrities, people who they were rooting for them to get to the top, but as soon as they start falling, they want to keep help them drag them.
I'm gonna go back to Beyonce. She don't do that.
She don't.
You will never know.
And I love that about her.
You'll never know.
I love that about her. I think that like she probably realized, again, she had good people in her corner to be able to say like, your talent is your talent. This is what your gift to the world, and you get to decide to share with the world what you want to.
What you decide.
Your gift is your gift. Yeah. The world doesn't have to know about every single struggle that
you can't. Only God can get me through.
Only God. That's what I have learned. Like I don't need to. And also when you think about being a leader too. Yeah. You have to understand you don't want to burden other people with your issues. Right. They're looking to you for inspiration and motivation. Yes. When you speak, you don't want to now burden them with your problems. Correct. Right. That's not what a leader does.
I always keep them wondering.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it was a meme that says, you can be checking like I'm still winning. I'm still winning.
Yeah. And like Brianna said, never let them see you sweat.
No.
Never let them see you sweat. Because you give some people a little seed, they're going to take it and they're going to cause you more problems.
And you got to protect things too, Some things you got to protect. Because the world will take it all. You put it all out there. You got to protect. Privacy is power.
It is.
Power.
It is.
That's why we ain't going to find it on Beyonce. So privacy is power. You ain't going to find it on Jay-Z.
No.
Privacy is power.
What Beyonce will do though, which I love, is that she will share some of her stuff in her music or her documentaries.
If you listen.
And she's never telling you about it when she's going through it. She always telling you about it after it's over. And I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
When God gives me a trial, after I'm over that thing, I'm always going to find the lesson in it and help and share it to help somebody else. But I don't share my trial
because you don't want all these different energies and demonic spirits and everything else to make it worse.
Exactly. Instead of people praying for you, they praying for you. Yeah. So
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. We have to be mindful about that. I think that, like I said, I love social media as much as the next person. Social media has provided me with so many. I would probably not know you were it not for social media, right? So, and I love the fact that I can say like all these different women who I've connected with on social media. I can sit right here in person and be talking to you. But you have to be mindful that again, everybody, especially when your goal is to grow your following, everybody who's watching you is not rooting for you.
They're not.
Everybody
who watches not happy for you. That's just life.
It's just life. And so as you go out here and again in this world, it's so important. I shared this earlier this year too. When it comes to collaborations and the people in your environment, you want to make sure those people around you they are refreshing to you, right? They are adding value to you. They are making one thing Kanisha said, that was one of my first guests on the show. She said people around you should make you feel lighter, not heavier. They shouldn't be stacking more onto you.
Yeah, if they're making you feel heavy, that ain't the person for you to be connected to. You should always. That's another way to see who's really supposed to be in your circle. See how you feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. In a collaboration,
when they come around you, see how does that make you feel?
Right. And a collaboration should never feel like you're dragging somebody behind you, like they're an extra weight. You know what I mean? Like it should feel like you are both carrying the same amount, right? Even if it looks different, right? Because your same amount might be you're out here marketing and promoting, and mine is I'm back here doing administrative and the paperwork. Like, but we're
holding. Everybody holds their weight, right? Everybody's accountable.
Yes,
it's a we thing.
Yes,
it's a we thing.
Yes. That's to me the best collaborations ever is those people who I shared before too about like collaborating with women that I would see on social media. Some of those have turned out to be really great collaborations that again turned into lasting connections. Some of those collaborations left me feeling like that feeling a lot of us don't want to feel is like, okay, like you just used me.
Yeah.
That's never a good feeling.
It's never a good feeling.
Right? Like I've had collaborations with people where I felt like you know, you're going to be featured on my radio show. This is an example. You're featured on my radio show, but I'm presenting you or announcing you or promoting you on Front Street, right? Like I'm going to share multiple posts and videos and flyers and all that stuff, and then you're going to like throw a little flop in your story, and But this is a collaboration, though. Like, don't treat me like a dirty little secret. That's what I always say. Like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
I don't like that.
Right. we both should be promoted, right?
Yes.
Respectful to the person's platform, right? So whenever they put it out there, then you do it. Now, I think that's out of respect too. You know, you shouldn't be doing anything before they do it because it's their platform, right? Out of respect. Now, you might go put some in the story, but don't announce their show without them promoting it first. That's their show. We remember to stay respectful, right? But yes, everybody should be promoted. Yeah. Yes.
And that's why I love this good feature that Instagram have now. This collaboration feature.
Yeah, collaborate both. Yeah.
People. And see, I'm not like trying to test people, but sometimes I just feel like if I hit that collaboration button
and you don't put it on
and you don't review it and add it, I'm to the point now where I ask you, did you see the notification? Did you see the notification come up? I know Instagram be acting funny sometimes. Did you see that it sent you something to review it? And most of the time I will be safe, like, oh, I missed it or whatever, but
like today, I'm gonna probably put some of my Facebook stories and say stay tuned. Like we'll be right here. But I'm not gonna announce your show until you do.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Because I'm sure you're gonna hit the collaboration thing.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna post it, right?
Yeah.
You know, because it's your platform. So I always tell people do respectfully too. But definitely make sure you're promoting that.
Yeah.
They gave you an opportunity.
Yeah. I
right.
think
and why not?
What? That's the question. Why not?
Why not?
I don't know. You're the psychology major.
Why not?
What would be the reason, sis?
Why not? Are you insecure? Do you not want them to win it, or is it something? It's sometimes it's insecurities too, or some people just don't want to share people's stuff, like, or they just feel like somebody else might see them, and they might get something, or they might take something from them. As I stated before, what he has for you, nobody can take. So they might think they might miss an opportunity too.
How though?
I see it all the time when people don't share stuff on people's platform, on their platform. They'll get on somebody else's and tap into their audience, but they won't let them tap into theirs. Because they know the influence they have. It don't take but one person to turn this whole thing around, right? But you should be happy for that person if somebody's seeing them. You know, why not?
It's so wild because to me, again, like you said, if it's for me, I'm gonna get it. Just because I share you doesn't mean that now somebody's gonna look at you and look at me and say, "Oh, I'm gonna choose her because she's better." It was never for me in the first place.
Yeah, it was never for you. It was always for you, right? So if they wanted you, they would have already reached out.
Like, it's okay. And like again, I love to be able to. Not that I do anything for anybody with the expectation that they are going to tell people it was me, because there's plenty of people who I tell that never say, you know, were not for you in society. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I actually also, again, that legacy that I'm building, I love it when, even if women tell me in private, I love when women say, I was able to make this collaboration, this connection with another woman because of she went society. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't people just want to be happy? Like, have you ever been featured in one of the like Voyage magazines?
Yes.
You know, at the end of the interview, they'll ask you. I love that.
Me too. Why not?
Why not?
We all can win. And I know we say it all the time, but people don't. They don't get it.
There is more than enough room.
They don't get it. You know? And that's why I tell people also, too, never despise small beginnings.
Never.
Like you never know who somebody is. Treat
Yeah.
everybody with respect.
Come on.
And I think people miss that too.
They do.
Because somebody might just be starting out and you overlooking them because they don't have 500,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't take one opportunity.
One.
But then you want to come back and spin the block. You can't do
Come
that.
on.
You can't do that.
Come on.
Right? So I tell everybody, never despise propaganda. You never know who you're talking to.
Listen.
Everybody don't reveal all the things they're doing or who they connect to and everything. I know I don't.
Absolutely.
You probably don't. You probably don't, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah, you do.
You have to be careful.
You do. You do. You never know.
You just never know.
Never
You
know.
know who you're talking to. You
Never.
never know who you're talking to.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and wrap up this amazing, empowering, inspiring, encouraging conversation with Dr. Ashley Little. I hope that you had your notebook out. I hope that you definitely are feeling encouraged by this conversation. We're going to be right back. This is She Wins Radio Show 101 TKO Radio. Hey sis, hey sis, hey. We are back. This is Coach Drama on She Wins Radio Show on 101 TKO Radio. And I'm here with my guest host, with Dr. Ashley Little.
Yes.
So just listen, y'all. This conversation about collaboration over competition, it has definitely just been so good, and it's going to continue to be good. We have something else we want to talk to y'all about. Over break, we were just talking about some of our favorite groups, male and female, from the Temptations to New Edition to Destiny's Child. Matter of fact, I just watched Straight Outta Compton the other day, right? Like all of these different groups that we saw, that there were moments when. Before I even say that, let's shout out Ruthless. Was that the name of their squad?
I think
was
so.
it Ruthless?
Was it
No, NWA.
NWA.
Right, Ruthless
Yes.
Records was the name of the records, right? Okay. And I just want to shout them out because I loved how they each allowed one another to shine the way that they did. Like when Eazy-E got up on that stage, they backed him up like go E.
Yeah.
When Cube got up and did his thing, they backed him up. They shouting out Dre for the magic he brought to the team. Like they did not. I feel like they did not let their egos get in the way of them allowing their brothers to shine. I just love that. That's one of the reasons why I love watching that movie though, because it's so dope. The only thing, the sad part was that again we saw that they did break up. Money, right? The vision was created due to money. And I want to shout out Ice Cube too. I had a conversation with my husband the other day about how I just loved how he stood on business.
Always.
Right? He was like, I'm not going to allow myself to be used and abused. Like, this ain't right, and I'm out. And a lot of us, when we think about collaborations or we think about business opportunities, a lot of us, we will set aside our values. We will set aside what we know is right because we're telling ourselves, I want to get that check. Cube went back to, did that whole tour.
Yeah.
Didn't make a single dollar from it. Had the choice to take the check or not take the check. Mm-hmm. He decided to go back to the hood with nothing. His boys driving around in nice cars. They got that little $75,000 check or whatever. And he had to make a decision to say, no, I'm going to take the road less traveled, right? The one that makes more sense. Now look at him. He like the most successful of all of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like, so I just love that. And I think that there's such a lesson when it comes to that, right? Again, like you said, seasons. Knowing when your season is over. And knowing that just because it's over, like the people that you started with aren't always the people you finish with, but God still has a plan for you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. But going back to, again, like we were talking about Destiny's Child and how Bobby Brown, New Edition, right? How sometimes collaborations end because of egos and insecurities.
Yeah.
And so with you and your psychology major here, right? Help us to understand, because some people would say that when it comes to like Bobby Brown, like he was just very confident in himself. He was very clear about who he was. Same with David Ruffin. I mean, David Ruffin let drugs get in the way of his thing. And Bobby messed with drugs too, but a lot of the issues in the group with New Edition came from the fact that Bobby was like, he was really feeling himself, right? Mm-hmm. Like he is the man, and he felt like the group would not be as valuable if he were not part of it. How do we handle it when we are around people or we are part of a collaboration with somebody and it seems like they feel like they are more valuable to the collaboration than we are?
Well, that goes back with just making sure you know who's in your circle, right? Who you're working with, right? And learning that everybody's different and how you think, right? Mm-hmm. I know we spoke about, sometimes you're really not arrogant. You're just confident, right? So it's a line there. Mm-hmm. So we also have to be able to step back and understand that, hey, is this person confident or are they really pushing the line of just being arrogant, right? And so, because, I like being around confident people, right? So that's a good thing, right? And with Bobby, let's just be honest, he was that guy. He was that guy. He was. Now, compared to everybody else, so he probably could have adjusted a little bit to the room, he probably could have adjusted to the room a little bit. But I also say he didn't have to dim his light either.
I agree.
I don't believe in you dimming your light either. But it is a way to get the same message across, but maybe in a different way.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I agree. And I think too, when we think about, again, groups or collaboration, like everybody has their own strengths.
Right.
And so sometimes you have to understand, like maybe that person's strength is the one to get the crowd hyped. that person's strength is the one like people are gonna come see them, but guess what? We all win because we all on the stage.
We on the same stage, right? So it's a we thing.
Yeah.
So it's more so let's see what everybody's role is.
Yeah.
So if Bobby's the one that he the main, then we need to see what everybody else role is because everybody matters though.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be that it won't go on without you because it actually still could go on without you.
It can.
Right?
It can.
Okay. So it's just learning everybody's role, right? And learning everybody's personality and how to work with everybody as a team. If you're gonna collaborate, you gotta be able to work with people, right? And understand that everybody's not gonna be you.
Absolutely.
I think sometimes we miss that in like hiring people and stuff too. Like we want to hire us. And that person really ain't, they're not us, right? And so we have to like really take a step back and fill those roles where we know we need that help.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I absolutely agree. Like, also, I think that, again, we struggle a lot with this because sometimes people would rather have nothing at all than to put themselves in position to allow somebody else to shine, right?
Yeah.
They'd rather just say, if I got to stand in the background, if I got to be the background singer, I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of it at all. If I can't be the main singer, the one front and center for people to be screaming and yelling for, I don't want it at all. And I think that, again, that's where we miss it because sometimes you weren't created to be front and center.
Yeah, sometimes
you were created to be the backup singer. Somebody got to be the backup singer. Not really, right? Somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that sometimes people miss that and understand like there are people that God created to be stars, right?
Yeah.
Like they are meant to be in the front. They're going to have that influence, that energy, that whatever it is that's going to draw people into them. And then there are some people who, again, your role is to just kind of be their backup. That's real talk. Like some people don't want to accept that, but sometimes your job really is to just be backup for that person.
And then also with collaborations, and we all probably, because we all type it in here, I'm sure. So we want to work with people who's going to be go-getters too. Like we got to win. That's all I know, right? But I've learned this with collaborations. We have to remember, like, this ain't my whole show. So what I would, I might have would have done it this way, but I've also got to be mindful of that person's, what their feedback is too, and see how we can come together and work it out where everybody can still get the same thing, but everybody's input matters.
Yeah.
Right. And I think sometimes in collaborations, people forget that, like, okay, this ain't your whole show though. So you got to like take a step back,
right,
and hear that person out too.
Yeah. So
they can feel valued too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody has to play their part, and everybody has to understand what their part is.
Yes, and that should be talked about in the beginning anyway. What are the expectations?
Absolutely.
What are the expectations so we can be on the same page?
Absolutely. Because I mean, we keep talking about Beyonce, but again, if you think about the team, the team of people that's behind Beyonce, they have to understand that again, we have to do what we have to do so that Beyonce can get up on that stage, right? From the people who are fixing her meals, to the people who are designing her clothes, to the people who are making sure that her dressing room is the way that it needs to be, she in the right energy, for the people that's helping her switch out her arrangements, and like all of those people have to know that that's Beyonce, right? She didn't want people screaming for her. But we're just as valuable because if we don't do our part, she can't show up as Beyonce, right?
That's why everybody matters.
That's why everybody matters.
Everybody matters.
Yes.
That's why I think Magic Johnson did an interview a couple months ago, and he was saying he always wanted to hire people who were better than him. Because he went back and said he had people on his team that were not like in excellence and were not better than him, so he fired them all to hire people that weren't.
Yeah. That's important.
How you think he went in? Because his team, you nothing without your team.
You nothing without your team. Your team has to see your vision and understand your vision. And you have to know how to bring people around you who are going to.
And sometimes you're not going to know who on people's team. That you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody play their part.
Exactly, right? Because you mentioned therapy earlier, and we know for a fact, like, I mean, I ain't in Beyonce business, but I would like to think that she has wise counsel around her that she can talk to whenever
and we don't know who on the
her
team.
Feelings are hurt, right? Like she's a human being. We talked about that. I'm sure her feelings get hurt. I'm sure she has bad days, things like that. So I'm sure there's somebody she's talking to. We will never probably know who that person is.
Yeah,
ever.
Because everybody plays their role.
Everybody plays their role. Yeah, that's so good. It's just, again, it's important to know it's important to know what your role is in a collaboration.
Yeah.
And again, to know when somebody else is meant to be in the front. Like even with a brand. Right?
And having the best people. I'm sorry. Hiring the best people.
Yeah.
They're experts in what they do. Because you can't do it all.
You cannot do it all. Nope. You
hire the best people. You want the best people.
You can't. In a team,
you want the best people.
About the definition of team, like that's what I have learned over the years, that I don't expect the same thing from all my teammates across the board. Right. Because some people have strengths in some areas and some people don't. But being able to identify the strengths of your team and be able to say, like, yeah, I have this expectation of so-and-so, they strong in this area, I need them to be strong in that area. And I know that because they're strong in this area, they might be a little weaker over here. I mean, that's realistic.
Like with my publishing company, with my editors, they're going to be experts in that. That's why I got them.
Right.
I'm not an editor.
Right.
I'm not a designer. That's my designer. That's her job. I don't overstep her.
Right.
I'm not trying to create, doing what she's doing. That's what she studied. That's what she specializes in.
Right.
Let them do their part.
But you're not ever going to ask your editor if your designer can't make it that day. You're never going to ask your editor.
The designer of the book cover.
Right. No, that's not your lane, right? Stay in your lane and do what you do well. And again, I think that's what's the best part about collaboration. You can kind of just understand that and embrace that. Like,
and don't step on people's toes because you know they're on your team and you want to feel like you got to be it. No, if you have and trust them to do what they said, they trust them in their expertise. I think people miss that, and that's why some people can't keep a team because they go insult people on their magic. On their what they done studied for years or what they specialize in. Like right now, this is what he does. So you coming in here telling him how to run a what? You see what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people miss that.
Yeah, exactly. When I did work in corporate America, I hated to be micromanaged.
I don't do that.
So I do not micromanage people. Like, give me my assignment. You hired me based off of my experience and my expertise. Give me my assignment. Give me my deadline, and know that you don't need to keep checking back in with me. I'm gonna get it done.
And if you don't do it, then we can coach you out, or you can go.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You let people do. They know what they signed up to do, right? And if they don't do it, then we already know what the answer's gonna be.
Exactly. Because I feel like if you do have to micromanage people, then I'm on people like if I do that, I might as well do
we don't need to work together.
We don't
have that type of time.
I don't have that type of time. That's extra work.
Right. That's extra work.
So absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to get into some Black female women-owned businesses collaborations that we saw over the years. And so this is coming from 2190. And I love what they wrote. They said, where two or more Black women are joined together, there shall fly be, or whatever God said. Can we just take a moment to relish in both being Black and women? Absolutely. And so some of the things that they want to share is that there are some women-owned businesses, some Black women-owned businesses that have decided to work together to create collaborations that were awesome. And so one of those were the Lip Bar. Y'all know the Lip Bar.
Absolutely.
And Glamaholic Lifestyle. Do you know Glamaholic Lifestyle?
Isn't that Mimi?
I am not 100% sure. That one is a little bit new to me. So it says both Mia Ray and Melissa Butler. Mia Ray must be who it is. Yeah. Melissa Butler is Lip Bar, right? Has successfully built two of the biggest and fastest growing brands in business. So it only makes sense that the pair have joined forces for a special collaboration that's guaranteed to sell out in minutes. With over 10 years in business with both of them, Melissa and Mia know a thing or two about what people want and how to make a product that satisfies that desire. Never straying away from their target demo, this inaugural collaboration between the two has Black women written all over it. Which I love. Y'all, if y'all missed it, I think we all love our good sis Tabitha Brown.
Yes, we do.
Like, what is there not to love about
she's from North Carolina too.
You're right. You are from North Carolina. Yeah. Yes. What is there not to love about Auntie Tab? And so there was a collaboration between her and Yvonne Orji for the season finale of Tab Time, which we just talked about Yvonne. So I just love that for her. But it says, we are living for this adorable moment between actress Yvonne Orji and favorite Auntie Tabitha Brown on Tabitha's YouTube series Tab Time, an episode titled Many Ways to Say Goodbye. Yvonne plays Captain Sayalater, who teaches a bunch of fun ways to temporarily leave our loved ones. The series itself touches on so many important and complex ideas for littles, and this episode is not one to miss. And speaking of collaborations, Tabitha Brown is definitely really good about that. Like, I have watched her journey over the years, and as she, stepped into being in a place of influence she definitely has reached out and into Black creators.
Oh, yeah.
And found ways to, whether it was wearing their fashions to major award shows, or just posting it on social media. Like Tabitha has been really, really good about reaching back out to her community.
And she doesn't get into the drama.
She doesn't.
She's so unproblematic.
She
Yeah.
is. She is.
She's always going to see the bright side of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, again, like you said, she's human.
She has her moments.
But you won't know. You won't know it, right?
Yeah.
You would not know it because she goes ahead and processes whatever she's going through, and then she comes and tells you.
Then she tells them that she goes through it.
Right.
Yeah.
in a loving,
way.
beautiful way. Yes. Another one is Bernie Watson Johnson and Daphne Maxwell Reid guest starring on Bel Air. Did you watch the show Bel Air?
No.
The new one? I didn't watch it either, but I saw it. And so it says the new Fresh Prince of Bel Air reimagining on Peacock has all the makings of a classic show all on its own with the right amount of nostalgia. It's a certified hit. So this week's episode that features the original light-skinned Aunt Viv. I guess we have to be clear. There were two Aunt Vivs, right? Daphne Maxwell Reid and Will's original mom, Bernie Watson Johnson, as new characters in Bel Air universe. Oh, that was probably really cool to see. Is the original Aunt Viv and Will's original mom to be on the new Fresh Prince or Bel Air, which is really cool. And then this, now mind y'all, this article is from 2022, so I want to just go ahead and put that out there because this next one is Lizzo and the cast of Watch Out for the Big Girls, which we know that Lizzo has been getting a little flack lately from her team, right? People who were around her are now saying that she was not a very nice person. That just goes back to
we don't know.
We don't know. Like, it's so hard. That one is really hard, right? Like, I haven't had a whole lot to say about it because again, we don't know. We weren't there.
If you're in business, you can see both sides.
You could see both sides.
Sometimes the people you think will try to ruin you later, or try to. They see you at a certain level. You know, you have to think about the whole picture. So we really don't know.
Listen, and even Mama Tina said that Beyonce is mean. She said when she doing those shows, Beyonce is mean.
When you're in your craft and what you do, and you have to be selfish because you want to walk in excellence. Yes. Excellence ain't always nice. I mean, it might even be mean. It's just that she is passionate, probably, or want to be in excellence in everything that she does.
Yeah.
And so everybody else needs to be in excellence.
Listen,
if you're gonna be on the team,
I know
in your role.
Absolutely. Like I said, when I post an event and it's like the very beginning, because I had an event not long ago where, matter of fact, Stephanie and the sister, the one you came to, all my bases broke before y'all got there.
I didn't even know.
Exactly. But like as my vendors were coming in, I know my face wasn't what it needed to be. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't, you asked to come and be asking, I get to you in a second. And it's not because I'm trying to be mean, but I got to get this stuff ready before everybody get here. And this is a problem that needs to be addressed. Like right now, your table can wait to be put up. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so, I mean, sometimes, again, I get it. I can understand. Beyonce has a lot of pressure on her. She always wants to be better than the time before.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Like she needs people to be on their jobs. You can't do it without her team. So I get it. We have to, again, like you said earlier, give people grace. Understand that people are going through different things, and that's so important. And if we could just be more mindful of everybody's emotions, the fact that everybody is human, the fact that when people say or do things, it's not always have anything to do with you. Being able to connect grace, I think that we will do so much better when it comes to connecting and collaborating with each other.
Absolutely.
So actually, before we wrap up today's show, I would love for you to do two things. One, leave us with anything that you want to share about collaboration, anything that you think will permeate the hearts of the people who are listening to inspire and encourage them to move forward with an open mind and open heart to collaborate with others, especially those who look like them. And the second thing is definitely let us know what you have coming up and how they can connect with you.
Well, I'm going to leave you with two. I'm always say shoot your shot.
Okay.
Shoot your shot.
Okay.
You never know. It don't take one thing to turn your whole trajectory around. My next thing would be, it's never personal. It's always business. And I know people don't like, but it really is. It's always business, and know how to separate the two. It's called emotional intelligence, right? That we all have had to improve on, I'm sure, in our journeys of being entrepreneurs and business owners, and just in life, right? You all can follow me on Facebook at Dr. Ashley Little. You all can follow me on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. And I look forward to collaborating and connecting with you all. This is a collaboration right here, as we always do, sis.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Ashley, for joining us today. And I definitely want to say that make sure that you tune in every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for She Wins Radio Show. Make sure that you share She Wins Radio Show. Make sure that you download the 101 TKO Addict Radio app on your mobile device. Make sure that you, if you are in the Atlanta area, will be in the Atlanta area on April 20th, 2024. Make sure that you are at the Women Are Dope Conference hosted by Chelsea Speaks. I am going to be a keynote speaker. And the next time that I am here, I will be giving away a free ticket to Women Are Dope. So make sure that you're tuning in for that. And then also make sure that you visit SheWinsSociety.com to learn about everything that we are doing to unite and empower and collaborate with women. And look up our Relax Relate Release Retreat, our 7th annual Relax Relate Release Retreat. We are selling from Miami to Nassau, Coco Cay, Bahamas, August 16th to 19th, 2024. It's going to be a great experience. This year's theme is Big Talk, Bold Moves. Make sure that you are there. SheWinsSociety.com. Again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your positive energy. Again, this is Coach Andromeda. This is the She Wins Radio Show on 101 TKO Radio.
I
That was